Here comes the Atlantic 10. Women's volleyball opened up their conference play schedule while the soccer teams get ready for the real season, conference play. We'll give you the updates on all the teams. I am Dan Ward, and this is Mason Sports Insider. This episode begins with the men's soccer team. They had two games this past weekend, one against High Point and one against Siena. The first game against High Point was against the Panthers, and after allowing 5 goals in the past 2 games, defense was the point of emphasis by the coaching staff and the team. They took heed and listened to the word of the coaching staff because of stout defense made an early second half goal stand up as the men's soccer team got their first road win of the season, snapping their 2-game losing streak. Tunde Akin-Lesotho scored on an assist from Ramon Evans in the 47th minute, and the Patriots defense did the rest in the 1-0 victory. Senior goalkeeper Stephen Kraus and the Mason Patriots defended off 16 shots, holding the Panthers scoreless and handing them their first loss of the season. This happened without starting back Elaine Sargent, who had to sit out after receiving a red card against West Virginia in the game prior. The defensive line therefore consisted of Jordan Edwards, Noah Kemble, Dan Casey, and Matt Tucker. He was very pleased, head coach Greg Andrulis was, by the defense's performance, saying that they were outstanding and that the win in general was important, saying, quote, "Getting a result on the road against a quality opponent provides us some momentum heading into our last non-conference match on Saturday." The last non-conference match was a home game against Siena University. Patriots are looking for back-to-back wins for the first time all season. The Patriots got on the board first for the second straight game. In the 40th minute, Henning Dirks played an excellent through ball up the middle to Daniel Hoffman, who made a great run and got past the defense. With one touch, he put the Patriots in front, finishing from just inside the box with his left foot over a sliding Siena goalkeeper. But one goal has been the norm for the Patriots this season, and once again, that would be all that they score. It proved costly as the Saints scored the game-tying goal in the 87th minute and ended the game abruptly in overtime with a golden goal just 80 seconds in. The Patriots finished with 8 shots and had only 4 on goal. Siena, on the other hand, had 17 shots, including 8 on goal. The Patriots finished out of conference play with a record of 2-5-1. 1-1 to finish this past week, 2-5-1 to finish the first half of the season, and the storyline continues to be the offense, or lack thereof, of the Patriots. Scored 2 goals this past week, 8 games, they've scored 8 total goals. That's for their season so far. Defense played well against High Point, also played very well against Siena, but they're not going to consistently win if they don't get more goals on the board. Although they got the shutout and nearly a second one against Siena, Mason allowed 33 shots, 11 of which were on goal, compared to just 6 shots on goal for them in those last 2 games. These are not quite the numbers they want to see, and they're going to have to turn it around because A10 play begins this week. They're currently tied for 7th overall in the conference with the 2-5-1 record. The preseason favorites St. Louis and Dayton have struggled so far this season. They only have 1 and 2 wins respectively, but a conference play, whole new animal. Records, throw them out the window. Mason was predicted to finish 7th in the conference, so they are technically right on pace to do just that, but it's going to be very tough to win games when they're only averaging 1 goal per game. This is a team that is only 3 years removed from winning the A10 championship, and I know that they're hungry to win another. But in order to do so, they will have to score more. The real season begins this Saturday, road game against the VCU Rams. So now to the team that has started the A10 play already, the women's volleyball team. The ladies hit the court with 2 road matches against the top 2 teams in the preseason rankings. They first played St. Louis, who's predicted to finish tied for first in the A10 this season. Patriots started off shaky in the opening set against the Billikens, falling to an 8-point deficit early on, but they managed to battle back and make it a close first set, falling 25-19. But they carried that momentum that tightened up the score into the second set to take a commanding 12-3 lead, only to see it disappear by the Billikens' leading attacker Danielle Ryjelski. The teams exchanged points all the way to 23-all, but then the Billikens called their final timeout, came out of it, took the next 2 points, and therefore took the set 25-23. So the third set being a must-win for the Patriots, they knew it and they acted on it. They gave it their all, keeping the set close the entire way and forcing 10 extra points. But again, they couldn't find the answer against Ryjelski and the Billikens, and they dropped the third set 31-29 and the match 3-0. So the team had to quickly regroup, got set for their next opponent, the reigning A10 champions and winners of 8 of the last 12 championships, the Dayton Flyers. Patriots came into the game never having won a single set against the Flyers, but in this game, history would be made thanks to inspired play by freshmen Bailey Williams and Katrina Santos, who led the Patriots to a third-set victory over the Flyers. Williams led the team with 12 kills, and Santos committed no attack errors while earning 7 kills, both of those kill totals being career highs for the players. Unfortunately for the Patriots, this would be all of the history that they could make in this game, as the Flyers asserted their dominance, winning the match overall 3-1. The Flyers were led by Jamie Peterson, who had 16 kills to lead all players. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, Tiffany Clark, Sydney Fanoga, and Michaela Wells added 11, 8, and 7 kills respectively, with Katie Espinoza leading both teams in digs with 19. Head coach Jackie Simpson-Kerr was pleased with the team against the two best teams in the conference. She said, quote, "Our team has made major improvements this season. Dayton is one of the best teams we've played thus far. This aggressive mentality is critical to our team's success moving forward to A10 play." The volleyball team came into these games expected to lose, but how they lost was surprising. Against St. Louis, they lost by a total of 10 points in the 3 sets, and really only lost because of a historic day by Ryjelski, who had an NCAA best 31 kills against the Patriots. Take 11 of those kills away, it's still an impressive day, but the Patriots may have been able to even sweep the match against St. Louis. Then against Dayton, meanwhile, they won a set after being shut out since this weekend, so they're certainly opening up some eyes across the Atlantic 10, or at least against those two teams. Looking forward, the Patriots have been projected to finish 8th in the conference, but they showed this weekend that they are better than most people have expected. I personally expect the freshmen in Bailey Williams, Katrina Santos, and Michaela Wells to continue to be big cogs in the Patriots' success. Yes, they are only freshmen, but I think that this will be a team fueled by young blood. They will go as the freshmen go. We'll see if playing the best teams in the conference has helped them out to begin the conference play. Their first home conference games are this weekend. You'll get 2 chances to see them. They play Rhode Island and Fordham this upcoming weekend over at the RAC, so check them out. Now we turn our attention to women's soccer, who is off this week getting set for A10 play. Let's take a look at the preseason rankings for all 14 Atlantic 10 teams. You see the Patriots are projected to finish 8th, which would give them a playoff spot and equal where they finished last season. Reigning regular season champion George Washington, who went 10-0 during the regular season last year, is projected to finish 2nd, while the reigning tournament champions, the Duquesne Dukes, are projected to finish 6th. Dayton, who is 2014 champions, is expected to be the top soccer team of the A10 this year. Now the Patriots, they are making the preseason rankers sweat a little bit because they have shined this season. For any of you that have been staying up to date with them, you know about their success. They have the 3rd best out-of-conference record in the A10, and they have played against some quality opponents. The NCAA.com, actually ranks the Patriots the highest team in the A10 at 53rd in the nation, with St. Joseph's being the next A10 team at 65th in the nation, this being as of September 26th. Statistically, the Patriots are near the top in multiple offensive categories in the A10. They are 2nd in points, goals, and assists behind only the Richmond Spiders. They are, however, 12th in goals allowed, but comparing their success to the men's team, for example, they're using offense to win games while the men's team is trying to focus on defense. And just look at the records. The women's team is doing much better this season as far as their record goes. Offense has been carrying this team. Seems to be a working strategy for them. Now, as I have said, this is out-of-conference play, and women's team, men's team, completely different teams, schedules, opponents, strengths of schedules, etc. So we're not going to look too much into it, but they have played very well this season, have the women's team. Sarah Hardison, Erin Mitchell, Kirsten Glad have all won Player of the Week honors. Seniors Sarah Hardison, Kirsten Glad, and Alex Myers continue to lead the team on and off the field, both offensively and defensively. And the offense is coming from everywhere, not just 1 or 2 players. They have 8 different goal scorers this season. They're going to be a fun team to watch in conference play, and you'll get to see them open up play this weekend with 2 home matches as well, just like the volleyball team, Thursday and Sunday against St. Bonaventure and Dayton. And now we move on to the women and men's tennis teams. First, the men's tennis team, who are in the midst of their fall season, with their competitive season being in the spring. They competed recently in the Joe Hunt Navy Invitational, and the highlight of the week came from yet another freshman on the year at George Mason University. Freshman Eddie Myers, who swept the 4 matches, winning the B-Flight Singles Tournament. Overall, the Patriots finished 25-21 over the 3-day weekend. Meanwhile, the women's team continues to prepare for the Loyola Invitational taking place this weekend. They are looking to build off a strong showing at the Mary Washington Invitational, in which they won both the A and B single flight tournaments. Morgan Yang and Scarlett Walton led the way for the Patriots, going undefeated in their matches. So that's all the updates for you. Let's take a look at this week's upcoming schedule to, once again, see where you can watch your Patriots. Once again, men's soccer opens up A10 play with a lone road game this Saturday at VCU at 7 p.m. As just mentioned, women's tennis will be partaking in the Loyola Invitational in Baltimore on Friday and Saturday. Cross country is back in action after a bit of a break. They will be hosting the Mason Invitational at Oatlands Plantation in Leesburg on Saturday. And then the 4 home games, 2 by the women's soccer team, 2 by the women's volleyball team. Women's soccer Thursday, St. Bonaventure 7 p.m. Sunday versus Dayton at 1 p.m. Both games being played at George Mason Stadium. Women's volleyball Friday and Saturday. Friday against Rhode Island at 7, and then Saturday versus Fordham also at 7 p.m. Be sure to come on out and support. If you can't make it to the home games, you can always tune in and watch them live on Mason Cable Network, channel 8.1. That will do it for this week's episode of Mason Sports Insider. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. As always, be sure to subscribe to the Mason Cable Network YouTube channel on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to me personally on Facebook or on Twitter. So this was Mason Sports Insider. I'm Dan Ward saying so long, God bless, and go Patriots.